everyone, Gabriel here, and today we are going to learn the basics on using grids on ChronoScan. The first thing we need is documents with tables. Let's go up here and let's use the sample PDF, data and table extraction. If you don't have that job and batch on your ChronoScan, just go up here on the help button and then click on the installing sample jobs. That will download and install those sample jobs you can see here on your ChronoScan. We have multi-image documents, multi-page PDF as you can see here, and they have tables, so that's perfect for us. Let's open the first page. You can see here the orange structure is the grid. That's what ChronoScan uses to capture the data. We have a header field to sort out our data, as we can see here on the modules panel. And the green section is the master column. Here we have the master column menu and the other columns menu, and you can make any of those columns the master one by selecting the split rows based on this column. So you can see here the master column's main function is to split the rows of the whole table, and each of those cells here, including the cells from the master column, will capture the data in it, so you can see it here. So let's jump into the presentation about that menu here and all of its functions. Since the master column is the reference for the whole table, we are going to take a look at its menu. The menu for the normal columns, for the rest of the columns, is pretty much the same, you just don't have all of those options here. To better understand each of those options, we have to split all of them into four main sections. We have the column management, where you can manage your columns. You have the row management, that's the main function of the master column, and that will allow you to split all the rows on your grid. We have advanced OCR options. Those can be used if you are having trouble with the data you have on your cells. And the field management, that part of those options of the menu allow you to sort out your data. So let's jump back into ChronoScan. On the column management options, you can create a column or remove a column. You just click on the split column here and you can see a new column is created. Those options are not exclusive to the master column. Let's say we want a new column here. We just click again and split column here. And to remove it, we can just click it again and then delete column. And here the same thing. To move it around, you just get your mouse here on the line and move the column around. Now, the row management options, they are a little bit more complex. You can use the automatic options, those are the top four ones, or you can use the fixed row size. Let's take a look on the automatic ones. We can split over the data here. We can split under, and you can see splitting under doesn't really work out for us here. So let's just leave on over. And if we are having a bit of trouble, we can just make it go away using those options here. We can use a regular expression. So every time ChronoScan finds that regular expression, let's say we want a digit any number of times, and we can use those options to improve the detection. And let's use the full line. If we use that one, you can see that last row here disappear. But if we detect carriage returns, that is, ChronoScan will see every time you jump lines here, like this one, we have 2 lines. If we detect it, ChronoScan will see those 2 lines as 2 lines. And then you can see the last row reappears. So if you are having trouble using just those split over or under, you can use those other 2 options to improve the detection. Let's just remove this one and disable this option to disable the regular expression. And we don't need the carriage return detection, so let's leave it off. Now, if any of those options can make ChronoScan work for your tables, you have to set it up manually. You can use a fixed row size, you click it to enable it, and you can define the height. Let's say we want 2, and the number of rows. We have 8 rows, but let's just use 6, and you can see we have 6 rows with a 2 millimeter height. Let's make it a more realistic one. We just click here again and it will open. Let's make it 10 and let's make it 8 rows. We click OK, and you can see it almost matches our table. So if you are having trouble, you can use that and then use adjust cut area from baseline to further adjust your rows for your table. To disable the fixed row size, you can click here and then disable the option here. We click OK, and you can see now the automatic feature is working again. The next settings, they are the row management are specific to the master column, but those advanced OCR settings, they are specific to each column. So let's say we are having trouble. ChronoScan can't read this as 11.00. So we have to turn on advanced OCR read. You just click here and wait for a little bit. The advanced OCR read settings window, this one, will show up. And here you can select the OCR engine used for the detection. And you can see here the value it detects and the OCR read. And you can also enable advanced filters. You can erode, dilate, and then use some advanced ones here. So just only use those options when you need them, when ChronoScan can't read correctly the data here. Let's say we want to open that dialog, that window again. We just click here and then advanced OCR read settings. And if you wait a little bit, the window will show up again. And you can see here it is enabled, but on the other columns it is not enabled. So it's a column specific setting. Let's just disable it here. And if you are also having trouble with your data, you can activate the read mode left to right to make sure ChronoScan reads the data from left to right. That will disable the automatic detection. And at last, we have the field management. Here you can make sure your data on the data modules panel here is correctly set. So let's say here we don't want description, we want it as quantity. Now you can see it is quantity, this column is set to quantity and this column is grayed out. Now let's say we want unit net here. You can see now it's unit net. So let's say you created a new field here on your grid and you want to insert it on your column. You just use the split column and then set it using the field management section here. To ignore a field, so you don't have to capture the entire table, you can just capture bits of it. Let's say we don't want the description. Let's set this to description again and then ignore values. You can see now that section will show up as empty on the modules panel here. Let's make the table again ready. Let's delete this one. Let's move it around. Unit list, quantity, there we go. And unit net. After everything is set up, you just click read and you can see all the data was correctly imported. Now you can either go to a basic OCR video and you will have a thumbnail here and a link or a card on your right, or you can go to the complex PDF table data extraction here on that thumbnail or on the cards here on your right. That's it, guys. I hope you liked it and I will see you on the next tutorial. Bye bye.